All right. Shalom, shalom. We GMS Oklahoma doing indoor ministry, and we're gonna go ahead and get it started. Giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Kakadash. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostle, elders, great millstone, my salutation to the brothers teaching word for the hopeful elect. Soon to be the elect, most high will, to the hopeful extend elect multitude, shalom, blessing, men, women, and children. We at the end times, we keep talking about that. Prophecies coming to play, stuff going on. And, it's called, hopefully it's edifying Judgment Day. First comes war and then peace. So, and that's the way the prophecy plays out. That's the way the scriptures are written. That these things must come to pass and then the end. So go ahead.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Yeah, you got the, what they call it, the fourth season, right? Winter, spring, summer, fall, and each one of them, what's coming, like, what comes after the other. So, it could be summertime, be hot as hell, and then that what comes after, and then you'll run into winter again. So, what did it say? A wise man prepare his feast, prepare his you got the harvest and all that. So this is a preparation, that we're doing for the Most High in the spirit of the Most High Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Because we know the season of war is coming, the season of everything. Go ahead.
But jumping down to 8, a time to love and a time to hate.
Yeah, people don't think it's wrong to love, hate, but it is time to hate. Time to hate your enemy. I mean, you can't love your enemy. You're going to, be subject to them all the days of your life, death, and your children and those that come after. So Most High put a spirit on you to hate your enemy so you can keep away from them, escape if possible, even go to war with them, Go ahead.
A time of war.
A time of war. We're in the time of war. Now everything is about war. Talks about war. Brothers doing videos about war. World War III, drinking. We're warring against the elements, against what they putting out, poisons and all that. We're warring within our minds and our bodies. We're fighting every day, fighting against the evil. The what do you call it? The frequencies. He's following the most in this day, But it starts in our mind first, of course. That's why I said put on the whole armament. But we are fighting against spiritual wickedness in high places. So that's what we do know. Our people really don't know that. They really don't consider that because they don't see it. It's kind of like a war, unseen war. Like they be like, what y'all out there doing? Like, who are y'all talking to? Where's your church? Yeah, you're cussing too much. Nobody's gonna listen. If you in war, nobody's worried about cussing. Nobody's worried about, and you can't go home. You really can't talk to your woman. You're a soldier, and it says endure hardness. We can get that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
In a time of peace,
and it's a time of peace too. But the peace comes after the war, where they say even after every storm, there's they sometimes they phrase it like there's a sunny day. So this is definitely the storm. ICE troops out there invading people's house, privacy. They don't care. Martial law coming. That's a form of martial law right there. Even with the cops being on the streets, Jake neighborhood watch, it's been a form of martial law all this time. Our people just think like, well, they're just doing a good job, trying to watch. They work for the elites, man. Go ahead.
And this is like the same, when Squan was saying we don't battle against flesh and blood. These are the same spirits that are back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are the same enemy that we've been fighting from generation to generation, as it says in Exodus 17:16 about Amalek. The Rothschilds, big banking companies, the first descendants of Esau, Edom, so-called white man. So this spirit is here in America.
Yeah.
you know. And you know, when you go into the Assyrians were real heavy on pushing military style type, militarizing the city.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
I think if I'm not mistaken, they're one of the most powerful militaries in those kingdoms back then.
Yep, they were known in that time once they got past that old Syrian Empire and they started to grow. Of course, they only lasted about 300 years, but that 300 years was, they were real heavy on military, and that's that spirit. That's what we call America, Babylon the Great, spiritually Assyria. Because they have that mindset to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
basically all them kingdoms, spiritual Nineveh, spiritual Sodom and Egypt, spiritual, this is Babylon, Rome all over again. Because this is really the capital of power of Esau. This is basically modern day Basra too. This is the place where it's going to take go down, man.
Because he then took a blend of all them different strengths of each nation and they put it in here.
Yeah.
So that's why you're seeing a lot of different tactics that they use. They try to get you to win the side on religion, but then they still militarize. That's Babylon. They were more like trying to be, side with you and get you to roll with them using religion and agriculture and democracy. But Assyria was like, we're going to just straight go hard on you. But Esau's doing both of those.
Yeah, what did it say? All the kings are laid with her, pretty much. So she getting everything, from every king. You picture a harlot over king's house. She gonna take some from each king and shit.
That's why we say this is the worst captivity we've been in, because we're dealing with all of them at once.
Yeah.
Because Esau's a thief and a vagabond in the earth. He's stolen everybody's heritages and crammed them in here, man.
And they still got their hand in the pot of America. Like they still, even though the Most High got them divided, they still congregate and they still got that peace. I mean that agreement to where if anything happens outside force, they, you know what I'm saying, they gonna come together. So that's still out there. So Most High that's how Most High is in control of this. He's playing chess with these people, man. Go ahead.
This is 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Hamashiach.
Yeah, because on our part we're soldiers, and they be like, "Well, where's y'all's weapons at? We're not." It said our weapons are not carnal weapons, like they have. But the Most High is a balance, so He got them highly, so to speak, so-called protected with weapons and possession of weapons. And on our side is going to be spiritual powers. You know what I'm saying? So but that's later on, and that's a little later on in the movie. Right now, we're doing our best with the scriptures to remain soldiers, because you know what I'm saying, it takes that too. They got private prisons out there. A lot of people get scared of the government, and especially young brothers coming in, they be like, man, they got concentration camps and guillotines out there, man. The government know about us, and we're on the blacklist or red list, whatever, and they get kind of shaken up. So that's a war in itself, to have faith and believe in Yahweh Yahushua to the very end, that you're not cracked under those circumstances. Because they are looking at us, and they are gonna come, against us, like it said in the scriptures. The enemy shall come in like a flood. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Go ahead.
That was it on that. Endure hardness.
Yahweh Shai is who they ignorantly call Christ. So it's scripture that says good soldiers of Christ, but it's Yahweh Shai. And they never taught in the church that we were in a war. They never taught that we were soldiers. It's like all that folly and that sodomy stuff in church. We're actually at war. And Jake he's like 1,000 years behind, man, on weapons, on technology, technology, knowledge. There's a lot of Jakes just finding out that they're Hebrew Israelites. Not too many now, but it's like, damn.
Yep. Saying the war is that we're doing the most. This is the highest ranking work that you can do in the earth, and a lot of people they look. A lot of people are gonna look at you like you insane, like something wrong with you. Like dude, on yesterday on Common, we're talking about brothers got schizophrenia. Like how? Everybody got working jobs. We pay taxes.
Yeah.
We stay. We strategic on making sure we at camp. Make sure we doing lessons. Make sure we studying. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with our affairs outside of that. Like how they just think we just crazy just because we teaching something they can't understand. You know. And that's the part of the war too.
And then a spirit, because like you said, those same spirits are back. You know what I'm saying? Reincarnation, that's nothing they don't believe in. But they'll let goth people and all these other weird people, they'll be joining them. They'll protest with them when it comes to a government situation. They'll be out there with them, protesting with them. Don't know them from like they said, can of paint or whatever from Adam, but they still apply those people or they still support those people. But we the craziest people in the world.
And that's how Babylon do. They try to use bureaucracy and loyalty. Those are the things that they try to use to bring the people together. To make it seem like they're all fighting for one cause.
Just like Rome, just like Assyria, those same
thing.
type of people. Go ahead.
I got a precept. You got something out?
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like you said, we in the war,
Yeah.
And, of course, we know it's a war that's not fought with carnal weapons, and this the weapons we coming with, the world can't handle. Esau can't handle. That's why. That's why. What is that? What it say about the apostles? In Acts, how they turned the world upside down. Well, basically, that's what's going on right now. This word is that beginning with the apostles on down, it's going out. It's destroying this man's kingdom. It's deploying them. And they don't like that. So they gonna come up. They gonna roll on us because we disclosing confidential information.
Yeah.
They paid millions of dollars to keep the information that we bringing out hidden. And we telling them today they watch, like you said, they watching us. And they seeing like, matter of fact, who's that? Apostle Rakai, not Apostle Rakai, Apostle Ramlod. It might have been all the apostles that came up with this testimony. Brought out this testimony on how they got the elites, some noble people rolled up on a limousine.
Yeah.
They said, how did y'all
find
out? They was at camp. How did y'all
Yeah.
find out this information? We paid this and this, for, to keep that hidden.
Yeah.
So that's scary to them. And that can bring that's what's gonna move them. They're gonna try to shut our mouths. Because they got a hidden agenda that they they trying to keep, because they ain't gonna, they want to gradually get to that agenda, the NWO.
Exactly.
So if we over this spilling the beans, like they say, we putting people on on game.
Yeah,
they don't want that.
It reminds me of Daniel, that they had since they couldn't come against him because Daniel was spiritual and judging matters, since they couldn't come against him like that, they came against him with a decree. You know what I'm saying? With a 30-day petition. So, like you said, they putting standards up against. They ain't gonna come up with the Bible against us. They ain't gonna come up with so much as we doing something unlawful, but they're gonna put it into practice to where, certain standards according to the draconian laws. The new age system, like, oh, y'all can't be offensive no more. We're really tackling this domestic terrorism, and it's coming from online, and it's coming from this and that. So that's how they're gonna try to, basically come down on us and try to make us evil, knowing that we speak in the word of the Most High.
And just like what was that account with Elisha when he was exposing what was the king name? Man.
And then they sent them after they tried to attack him, but he blinded all of them.
But before that, Elisha was man, he was exposing. He was all the information of the king. Man, it's an account. And the king, he was basically like he thought it was a spy among. He's like, man, who was the spy? How is these people knowing what we got?
I remember that,
And I ain't been into that count in a while, but it was Elisha that he was getting the mysteries, and he was exposing that man. So when then if I think I can't remember who it was, but he was like, no, ain't no spy among us. It was Elisha, the prophet. He's telling everything that you talked about in your secret chamber, something like that. So that's when he sent those people after Elisha.
Same thing that happened with Yahushua, man. They said they was telling people to know as a bride or rooming about like this man knew all the things I did that I never told. So that same thing with prophecy, us prophesying against Trump and stuff like and things that he do. Even though it's like a lot of it's well known, but we be hitting buttons and we're like, damn, how they know that? Go ahead with the scripture.
This is Matthew 24, verse 14. And it reads, in this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations.
Gospel means good news, man. So it's good news for us. And we see the good news because we see the internet, the Most High made a unicorn that is spread across the world, and like what do you call it? Like a match to a barn, a yard, what I'm saying? Caught on quick, like you think it'd take for years and years, but Most High, and he said he sped up the time. So you don't have to go travel over there and try to talk to somebody, and convince them that, hey, Most High, they can see for themselves on the internet. So this gospel is being preached in all the world, man. For a witness upon all nations.
Exactly.
Because these other, I was just gonna say, these other nations, they gotta know too. They gotta know their end too. Everybody's gonna know about the Israelites. They do, really. I know Putin be watching Trump. They have to. They have to. I mean, that's what kings have to check and see about, about prophecy. Because they remember all the soothsayers they used to have, and spells and all that, and the spell casting and all that. Of course, they still do that, but they're really concerned about the prophets. Like, damn, what did they say? Go ahead.
And it's like Japan was saying, they do a diligent search. They definitely checking this out. And they know that we're basically, through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Shai, we're sentencing this place. And everybody in here who's not Israel. And a majority of our people for not repenting. So that's what's really happening. Like, this is a sentence before judgment.
And you would think like people over there in, what do you call it? People over there on the other side, on the Eastern world, people in London, people in, those places, but there's prophets over there too. Not only on the internet, but there's physical prophets over there. So nobody got no excuse, man. And this place, this truth is gonna engulf this place, man. Like you can't go on a regular video without somebody leaving a scripture on there concerning the things coming, or a brother that's in the truth. Like y'all going off, y'all gonna be destroyed. Whether it's church, whether it's sports, because all that's connected, right? And then Hollywood is a good piece of them being connected. They finding out, like, I mean, people are finding out, like, damn, why is Shaq hanging with comedians? Why is Shaq hanging with Trump and them? Why is, Kevin Hart hanging out with rappers and all that? Because they all in the same. It's connected.
And you can tell they terrified of Esau because a lot of the stuff that he done around them that we don't really see, because he's up there with the hierarchy that represent the elites. That's why when recently Walker Flocky, he pulled up on the Tampa camp, and he asked him, he said, "What's the mark of the beast?" And he was saying it real quiet. He wasn't saying it loud. This is the dude, I go hard, and like he's loud spoken dude. And he was talking real quiet, like, yeah, man, it's the shit, man. He didn't want to say it loud because they really fear Esau, man, because they don't have the Most High with them.
Yeah.
You know, and Esau ain't nothing to play with. Esau definitely,
that's the left hand of the Most High.
Yeah, he's definitely got some esoteric wicked power, man, that the Lord gave him.
And if I'm not mistaken, Waka Flocka he named himself after a drug, right?
Mm-hmm.
Called Waka. So you get on that drug. He was used as a drug. His music as a drug to drug out people through his music,
well, just to be vain,
yeah,
and
exactly.
In doing that, he realized at the end of it, that he was on the wrong side, man, because we understand that the Lord made the wicked, so we shouldn't be fearing them. It's the Most High, man, because he shouldn't come with something way worse, man.
DMX, same thing, ran to the Israelites' judgment, And a lot of these other people, a lot of these celebrities are going to start falling. Like you said, stars are falling from heaven. Talking about those stars, they're going to start reaping judgment. Go ahead.
Yep. So, and then the end shall come.
So we're at the end. And the end is, surfacing. Like we see Esau's kingdom going down. He see it going down. He talks about it himself. He make videos himself like, I can't take it no more bills. You ever hear about so many Edomites complaining about their bills being paid? If women Edomites can't find a man,
and it's them curses coming on them because they used to be able to go on vacation 2-3 times a year. Now they can't do that no more.
They used to have boat, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler, 2-car garage, 2 kids, 14-bedroom house, living off of the waters and all that. Now Most High judging. It was a shooting that just happened in, I think, Minneapolis. And, the government's getting involved, but, you could live by, tsunami threats, we call it earthquakes in diverse places. So even if you felt like you got away from the noise of the city and all that and going to remote places, Most High still have a dark cloud over your ass, judgment.
And see, that was exactly what how old Assyria fell. Okay, from overexpansion, trying to take over too many other places. They over here trying to take over Venezuela, Greenland. They over here trying to take over Ukraine, Taiwan. They overexpanded, and then they got internal conflicts, them shootings, all that stuff going on. People rioting, right? And then the only other one they had was the Medes were attacking Babylon. So those 3 things is what made it fail. That's the same thing that's happening today, man. It's the same story, but on a mass scale. We seeing that.
And what did it say? The Most High rules. He set up the bases of men. He ruled in the kingdom of men. He set up the bases thereof. Like he could take base people to take mighty people down. Just like those Germanic tribes. I mean, Byzantine Empire ruled 1,000 years, Jake, and all of a sudden, the plagues, the division, and the overtake, and by Germanic tribes and all that, Ottoman Turks, those are nobody people, man. Jake can take Jake could look at the and we'll get back, but people like Shaq, he should be a warrior. He should be a gladiator. I mean, a real gladiator, like taking Edomites out. But of course, we under the curses. We're under we're in captivity. But still, that kind of man, he's like almost 7 feet, if not, and he's in a dress. You know what I'm saying? And he's having fun with the boule, black boule, and the boule people. Like, that ain't where our people supposed to be. But they'll take mighty men like that and dissolve them and make them conform. And that's what they see about us. Now we're the mighty men. Because we're the last ones standing. So they're going to come for us. It's a mind state. So they be like, damn, they're awake. They still talking about America being destroyed. They're not, the members are not, they're growing. Just like back then, they say the Hebrew Israelites are growing. Unless we take them out, they'll overtake us.
Just like you heard that one Eve, she was like, y'all got the numbers. Why don't y'all start being like the Black Panthers and stuff? They used to just talk shit about it. Now they starting to see like, nah, this is real, man. And what's happening is basically, You know how it says if a servant doesn't know the will of the Most High, he get beaten with left stripes. Well, the Lord's making sure through the prophets, the Lord's making sure through the prophets that everybody knows, so you can get beat with many stripes. That's what he's setting up right now.
Yeah.
Before he puts in the famine of the word, he's setting it up to where you knew better.
Yeah.
To get right.
Yeah.
Because we're doing lessons every day.
He says in the scriptures that you say my ways are unfair. He's a just power.
Yeah.
Your ways are unjust and unfair. So he's letting judgment play out. He's letting y'all have y'all's fun. Y'all say y'all want to do this. He'll give y'all a king. He'll give y'all, you know what I'm saying, political political world leaders for your governors and all that.
For your folly.
Yeah, for your folly, and y'all can have fun. Hey, Drake is partying right now. He's like, well, man, we good. America's gonna win the war, and we'll just get back to what we go, and we're gonna make America great again. They really think they're gonna win this war.
But Jake don't understand that we already in war, because that's how it starts. It starts politically. It starts infrastructurally.
Yeah,
that's how it starts, man. Because the morale is falling here, and there ain't really no purpose for a lot of people anymore at all. Because a lot of them was hoping to get raptured. They ass still here. So now it's like, damn, what do we do? The last thing to look at is what? The Israelites, man. That's the last place they ain't look, man.
Yeah, we'll get to the scripture. And I think what you were saying, I think even scientists or philosophers, they said and it's biblical too, any country that loses morale is on its way down. It cannot stand.
Yep.
So this place is done with morale. Ain't no morale here. Ain't no respect, no honor.
Nothing.
It's nothing left.
Because you got men wearing dresses.
Yep.
Like they ain't know what's the point of fighting for that. That's not what this place was built off of. You know?
Yep. Go ahead.
This is Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, power, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, that I will send a famine in the land.
Yeah. If you ever been in a famine, that's deadly. That's worse than a sword. But what is worse than a famine of bread? Go ahead.
Not a famine of bread.
Not a famine of bread. Go ahead.
Nor a thirst for water.
Nor a thirst of water. Could you imagine being thirsty and there's no water? But this is worse. Go ahead.
But of hearing the words of the Lord.
Hearing the words of the Most High, because that's going to be comfort. Most High said this His Holy Spirit, even Yahweh Shai said, if I don't go away, the Holy Spirit can come unto you, which is, he shall teach you with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, which is our comfort. So a lot of people are going to be confused in this day. That's one of the worst states to be in, to be confused and without knowledge, wisdom, understanding, without a comforter. So that, you know what I'm saying? The prophet's going to be taken off the streets. You know, there's going to be a famine of the word, man. And they don't understand that. That's why that we talked about a little bit about the celebrity world. That fame means that comes from the word famine. And that's why they got to keep some kind of filling their soul with something in the industry. If it ain't drugs, it's entertainment. And if it's not that, it's something else. Because they really can't be fit. They can't be filled in those spaces, man. Because it is not with the knowledge and wisdom, understanding of the Most High. Howard Shah even told the woman at the well, she said, well, where is the water that I may fetch thee from thee to that I may not thirst again? And it kind of went over her head. But he said, you know, woman, I have water that if you taste of it, you will not thirst again. You know what I'm saying? It even says in the scriptures that out of our belly shall flow rivers of living water. But did she get to taste that? No, she was a heathen. These heathens are not given that you know, that inward happiness of being comforted by the scriptures. You know, so that it's a blessing to even have that. And at the time of war, and at the time of Jacob's trouble, when shit goes down, no power, no electricity, no the days are dark, cold. You're gonna need in your mind the faith to be like, I ain't gonna just be out here like this.
Yeah,
I believe in the Most High is gonna provide for
God. He said, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning of a thing." So we got a whole flip mindset than people on the earth because they know that the end of this is not good for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good news for them, so they can't be comforted by it.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. They trying to give it the blind eye,
Yep.
like we ain't out there, and like these things don't exist. You talk about war at the job, they might call you a terrorist. He's scaring everybody. This is true. You could turn it on the news and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And it's verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea.
Yep. Like, man, where do we go ahead?
And when you look up that word wonder, this is what it says.
Psalms H 51:28.
Yeah, Nuwai
Nuwai.
in Hebrew. Show him that word.
It could look like it's kind of, hopefully, nice.
Yeah, try to show him.
Yeah, you can see it on yours a
Okay.
little bit better.
Yeah. That word is Nuwai. So
yeah, can't really see it.
Wonder, I think that in the Nawad, that means wonder too, right? Nawad.
Mhm.
So I think those words, that's where you get it from. The words are similar.
Mhm.
Like a vagabond,
Yeah,
a wanderer.
you're gonna be like Esau.
Yeah.
It says to quiver,
To quiver.
totter, shake,
Yeah.
reel, stagger,
Because you're going back and forth, wondering like
what to do.
Yeah, what to do. You're all shaky. You're knocking on everybody's door. You know what happened when you knock on everybody's door? Somebody's gonna answer it, and then they're gonna invite you in, and then they're gonna slaughter you, man.
Yep. It says waver, tremble.
Yep.
Be unstable.
Be unstable. And see, nobody's called to war unstable. Remember, it was a. I ain't gonna even butcher it, but I'm gonna word it similar. They was, trying to figure out who was ready for war and who wasn't. So they was talking about him that go to the waters and how he does it.
Mm-hmm.
Get the water is whether they know if you're ready for war or not. I'm paraphrasing.
How you drink the water.
Yeah. So it's kind of like how you move, like we said, they watching us and how we move.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a battlefield and you have soldiers and they're not moving in one accord, somebody's trying to do something else or trying to go somewhere, they're gonna be like, well, go home or kill them or something like that. Get rid of them. And that's the same battle formation out of all wars.
Mm-hmm.
They had that in the movie 300. If y'all remember when he didn't want to go to war, he dressed up like a woman because the women stayed at home during time of war, like in the scriptures. And he dressed up like a woman, and then they caught him and pulled his top. His wig or whatever, and his garment, a little bit of his garment, and they knew he was a man, and they wanted to stone him, man. So that's what our people are doing with this war. The Most High raising up his soldiers. They be like, I don't want to fight this war.
Yeah, like they looking like weaker vessels.
Yeah.
Spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're taking this rivers of living water and they're spitting it out.
Yeah.
They're not even digesting it to have the knowledge,
and they're not preparing for this war. Most High, it says, prepare your soul for temptation. They act like Jesus is like already got them carrying them on shoulders with flowers in the field.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And from the north, even to the east, and they shall run to and fro and seek the word of the Lord and shall not find it.
Yep. They're not gonna find it, man.
And that could be like, not just necessarily just walking up to us. They might just be on the internet searching for it. Because that's a part of like looking into the earth. Like being able to look through that unicorn, they're not gonna be able to find it no more. You already know in the UK they didn't shut off all the Bible apps, so they already experienced a part of the family of the word. So a lot of them is over here listening to us. If the ones that can, they're definitely trying to tap in to different media outlets, social media. That's why, it's good to have several different platforms. You might do stuff on Rumble, stuff like that, because a lot of stuff getting cut off, Jay.
And like we said, when they go to war, then basically it's easy for them call out domestic terrorism to where your words is a form of terrorism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You talk about a sodomite online, they gonna be like, he gonna report you, and then they might block your channel, take all your channel down. And if you continue to do it on another channel or something, and you've been reported before, and they put you on the list, they be like, well, you might get sent court papers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And a fee. That's how they start off. Like we said, gradually they just send you a bill like you've been doing this online, or suspend your account that you can't even make an account no more with them. So those type of things are biblical. With, like we read that scripture, famine of the word, man. Get that and the Most High gives analogies. I mean, he gives similitudes and a different analogies. So imagine you physically going through a famine, like your stomach is hungry, like there's no more food, the stores are empty, and then you be like, and then your mind is gonna trip out because you're gonna be like, damn, I'm not gonna ever eat again in my life. Instead of having faith, patience, and waiting on what might come to you, which is going to be the spirit of the men of the Lord, they're going to bug out. They're going to kill each other, But it says, what did the Most High say? Sword, get that scripture right quick. Sword is worse than famine.
Yeah.
Lamentation.
So if they talking about, well,
the famine is worse than the sword.
Yeah. My bad. It's like, yeah. But that's why people, if they don't eat, they'll kill themselves. You know what I'm saying? Or they kill each other.
You said,
go ahead.
To be slaughtered by a sword is worse than famine.
No,
it's slaughtered. I just said it backwards.
You said it right. That was right. Because that's the lamentation.
Lamentations 4 verse 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it said they that be slain by the sword. It's Lamentations 4:9. It said they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger.
Yeah. So it's better for you to be slain by the sword. Some people and some, when they hear the truth, they might be scared of getting beheaded. They might get scared of being shot, but that's better than famine, man.
And I thought you was meaning it the other way. So it's lucky.
Yeah, that's better than famine. I mean, they would rather, you would rather do that than to die by a famine, man. Because that's a quick death, but Most High can keep your ass alive too. You remember that? He what did he say? He's the judge of all. Basically, he's the judge of all spirits. Go ahead.
Oh yeah.
He said, for these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field.
Yeah.
So it's a slow death.
Yeah. Your body. What do they say, that your body eats itself?
Yeah. And that's gonna be during the famine of the word too. So you're gonna be spiritually painted away and physically. You're gonna feel both experiences as a Jake, because Jake, we're predominantly spiritually people. That's that's us. The spirit and righteousness is our traits. So in that day, you're gonna be really feeling like through. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be done. And the Lord He gonna put the spirit on you to still try to survive. Even though you're gonna be wishing you were dead, because He's gonna save you for the missiles, man. Because you done took that MOTB. A lot of Jakes is gonna be left out here with that MOTB, man. Get them boils on them, them cancers on them, and be out here like, man, why didn't we just listen to Jake, man?
It was a couple of Jakes in the news recently, but it might have been a year ago or two. But he couldn't get along with his family or something, and so he slept in his car, and it was so cold, man. I think it was like below zero, and he froze in his car, man. So for his pride, as far as personally how I view it, he could have saved. I mean, he could have been still alive, but he was like, because that's one thing too, saving face, they call it. You don't want to be like to the point where you then diss the prophets and y'all ain't, and then they're the ones that got the lighthouse and sandwiches and shit, and you're gonna have to knock on their door or whatever. Well, can y'all share that food? They're gonna be looking at you sideways, man. Like, man, you a devil, man. Get out of here. What did you say? Y'all Shai said, those on the left, depart from me. I never knew you. You know? I was thinking of that scripture too. And then, of course, the scripture we always get, Jacob's trouble. Since there was time, and no time like it, neither will it be after. And we gave you a lot of scenarios of judgment, man. Judgment doesn't just happen, from an opposition. It can happen, you could be in your home and just start coughing up blood, man. Or have some attack you from within, or just go crazy. Your mind just flips out. Everybody got a trigger inside of them. They don't know when it comes. But Jake, like the apostle said, a lot of times Jake don't know how to use wisdom. He don't know how to use his strength. So, some form of jujitsu. So he'll kill somebody instead of, using those dynamics so he won't have to kill someone. So a lot of people, when they bug out, they're just instinct is gonna just kill people. Go ahead.
This is Psalms. Did you have some up? This is Psalms chapter 46. The points down there, but just read a little bit of it. Verse 1. To the chief musician for the sons of Korah, a song upon Alamoth. The Most High is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble.
Yeah, that's why we don't have any weapons, because the Most High is our strength. And that's how he does Israel. He's like, nah, it's too many of y'all. Like even with IUIC, they show themselves as a multitude. Most High don't deal with you just because you're a multitude. He'll deal with small numbers and take that, so you won't be proud. We'll be like, we won the Assyrians because of our weapons, or we won Babylon because of our weapons. We won America because we had a great military. No, we don't got jack. We don't got ish, man. Jake got a few guns in his closet, and that's it. Esau is the man of the sword, man. How can you beat the man of the sword? And he's constantly showing his weapons. And he got allies, the few that he has left. So if they wanted to come like the ICE people, if they wanted to come in a military formation, they can at any time. Jake don't know what to do. Man, they on the roof, they in the wall, they in, you know what I'm saying? They know they have military practice and tactics and years of training. Jake don't have that.
The AI robots coming out of the damn drain and shit.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be ready for that shit.
Yeah.
You need spiritual power.
Yeah, drone insects. Little spiders coming out.
They had one where those little leaf things that be spinning that fall from the trees. They got some of them that's like it's got a little dart in it, and it'll shoot your ass
with poisonous
and
dart.
kill your ass. Like they got all that type of shit, man.
Yep.
Like they ain't no getting out of this.
That's why
the Lord being our refuge.
Yeah, that's why we tell you that Esau is the left hand of the Most High. You can't box with the Most High, right or left. People be like, well, he's strong on the right, but his left is weak. Nah,
both of them strong.
Both of them knock your ass out and wake your ass up in another world and shit. Go ahead.
Verse
the
2.
Most High, yep.
Therefore will not we fear.
Will not we fear? And then Job told his wife, he said, shall we not receive evil for this? Because when you know the Most High, he's a jealous power, and he's the father of spirits, and he's of judgment. He loves judgment. So, you're going to fear your father. You're supposed to fear your physical father, but Jake, what did we say? The Jake turned the world upside down. You got children talking ish to their fathers, man. You try that with the Most High, man. That's why he don't have to come down and you know, try to prove to Jake nothing, he'll bring a tsunami against your ass. He'll bring a worldwide earthquake on your ass. He flooded the whole world, man. And they still don't believe in that. They proud, like, how could the whole world be flooded? You dumbass, man. Don't you know a whole world, what percentage of water is the earth? Like 85, something like that?
Yeah, a lot more than land.
Yeah, so it don't take nothing for it to overcome the lands, man. And it was such thing as Pangea, where the lands were together before the flood. So keep disbelieving in the Most High, like that's not possible. Everything is possible with the Most High. How do you think your ass got here? Through the womb of a woman. You didn't just appear nowhere. You came through even the miraculous work of how a baby is formed in a woman's womb is crazy. Scientists can't even figure that out.
You gotta have superior word.
Yeah.
And to put some people on this earth that don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And the stuff he done.
Yeah.
That's scary, man.
And to have these nations, like you said, that have power and they crazy as hell. To have Esau, a beast-minded man that's crazy as hell, he got the power to do stuff and exercise laws in this world. Have you hanging outside like he did in slavery, and nobody cared about you, while children were looking at you, laughing at your ass, butt naked in an auction block. That's how the Most High have your ass out there like that, man. Go ahead.
Though the earth be removed.
Though the earth be removed, go ahead.
And though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. Verse 3, through the waters thereof roar and be troubled.
You ain't talking about, it's like, you ain't talking about remove like earth ain't existing no more. It's talking about how the earth is shaking up in it. You know what I'm saying? Even when it says the missile, when they hit, the earth is gonna rock to and fro like a trumpet. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. And just like Jaquan was saying, it say the earth abided forever. So we know when he's saying that, it's saying kingdoms are going to be removed. You know, certain land masses are going to get moved. You know, verse 4, there is a river.
And the land, what do you call it? It's alive too. That's why you're supposed to have a land Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? Treat the land well, because it'll fight back on your ass, man. It'll spew up, like, you know what I'm saying? It'll I forget the word, man. Retaliate, you know. Everything got a defense mechanism. My defense is Yahweh while Yahweh shot. You got all these animals in the animal world. They got a defense. You got a little armadillo, and he got an armor on, man. Nobody can pierce that armor. No, you know what I'm saying? The lions don't even F with him. You got the porcupines that got swords in his that he'll stab anybody that tries to attack him, man. So even the smallest things and the most vulnerable things are protected. These women should be protected, but they're not, because they become wicked and they don't want no protection. But if you have a little virgin, and you remember back then, they was able to call their fathers and uncles and brothers. They can't really do that now. But that when you're vulnerable and you need help and you call for that help will come. And when we call for the Most High, He's gonna show up and show out, man. You know, in the end, you know, and he's doing it now. You know,
that's you know, like the scripture said, seek out of the what's that?
Cisterns.
No. I think that's in the book of Sirach. It said, seek out the days of old. But basically, you know, you look in ancient times. Anytime Israel was, you know, punished, brought into captivity, the Lord always came through. Every time Israel cried out, he came through. And delivered them. He would send a judge or plagues. You know, he always came through for Yasharala. So What makes you think he ain't gonna come through this time?
Exactly.
You know, we in captivity. We had crying out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why you see these series of events, you know, going on, because we on our way up out of here. You know, just like what happened in Egypt. It was a series of events, a plague before we exited, you know, the land of Egypt. You know, and so that the Lord gonna keep. Hey, what is it? The things were written for the things that were written foretime written for our life. You know, the Lord said He gonna. Matter of fact, Yahweh Shai, He said it was that book of St. John. I want to say the 14th chapter. He said, I will come unto you. I will not leave you comfortless. Now that's spiritually talking about the doctrine, but physically he's talking about, you know, coming back, because he said he won't leave us comfortless because we uncomfortable right now. You know, being in we gotta work on the Sabbath. You know, it's just we uncomfortable here. He said he won't leave us comfortless, so he gonna keep his promise.
Yeah, that scripture you mentioned, it says, and we'll get back. It says there's no captivity. The Most High didn't. I'm paraphrasing that the Most High didn't have a way to escape. You know, so you know, and it like you said, it starts with this word first. Because if you get escape, and then you be like, you don't have the faith and the knowledge and the power of mind, you're gonna give yourselves up to the enemy. You're gonna be like, well, I'm tired of fighting. Let me just go ahead and surrender myself. You know, so their last stake is this MOTB, where they're gonna be trying to be like, they're gonna try to wear us out first, which they are trying to do now. And then by that time, you know, they want to leave us feeble to where we're dependent upon things, resources, until where they be like, well, here's the MOTB, just, you know, get with this and you won't have to suffer. But that's why the Most High has us acquainted with suffering. It says Yahweh Shai was acquainted with grief. So he already like, yeah, I'm already, you know, already know about this. We know about suffering. So you can't offer me nothing. The devil took him up on a high mountain and said, showed him the kingdoms. He said, you can't tempt the Lord, man. So they do that in the same fashion today. Here's, you know, you can have this. Oh, they already talked about having what they say, was it 20,000 credits on the MOTB starting off or something like that? Like you start off with credit, like a gang of credit. You know? Shalom to brothers, few brothers, sisters on the comment board. Shalom to one for tuning in. Y'all war, shalom. The rest of you, awesome brothers and whoever's watching. But yeah, they that's what they do. They offer you some in your weak state, because he said there was a time during the famine, you know, and we being outcast of Rome and all that. He said can these the Son of Man can turn these breads to stones to bread. You can eat if you want to. You're the Son of God, you know, and that's what they'll do to us too. Like, man, hey man, the Most High said He'll clean the meat so you can eat this swine. I don't think He'll be mad at you for eating swine. You don't know the Most High, man. Most High got in people's ass sideways, man, for doing little stuff. You know? So Jake talking about it ain't no big deal, man. It's just Christmas. It ain't no big deal. It's just this and that. We know how to advertise the hip. Oh, it's just this little bitty grain of rice thing, like it's little, man. You know? And then Jake gonna be like, you right, man. They take only what? I'm like, it's a puncher, man. That's it. That's how they be talking, man. Like the devils they are, man. That's the devil talking to you, man. You know? Plus you're gonna get credit, and then you know they offering a new age of housing and all that. You know how they doing it, you know, fixing up, remodeling the houses and all that. They gonna do all that. Go ahead.
Verse 4, there is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of the Most High.
Yeah, that's we reached the point on that, right?
Okay. The point is down.
Go ahead.
I can go down a little bit. You know, it said the holy place of the tabernacle. It says the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High going to us. The point was down here, and we can start at 6. The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. And then it says, verse 7, the Lord of hosts is with us. The power of Jacob is our refuge. You know, and then when you go down to the end, you know, it just goes into, you know, all the things he's going to do to make wars to cease, you know. But I'll just get to the point. Verse 10, it says, be still and know that I'm the Most High.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing, being still. We're not, you know, ruffling like our own feathers against destroying winds and destroying things upon this earth. We like listening to the Most High. Like when there's a terrible beast outside, you got to stay still. You can't move or make no sound. You know what I'm saying? You can't be volleying and being like, look, we even in the times of like Jake be trying to read other books and say, I just want to read. It ain't even no time to do all that no more, man.
It's almost like the Lord saying, don't try to be a hero.
Yeah.
Like, you know, don't be.
Yeah, don't try to.
Yeah, listen to your spirit. You know, listen to how the Lord, you know, when things start going wild, don't be a hasty, because you're gonna see everybody else being hasty and trying to flee. The Lord said we shouldn't be fearing because He has control of all of it. You know.
Yeah, and like you said, Jan, earlier, you know, through gradual, and you said it too, graduality, if I'm saying it right, gradual steps. They try to do that with intimidation too. Like they'll drag you through. That's why you can do a little something, and they'll take you to court like you just been committed the biggest crime in the world.
That's how the Assyrians were.
Yeah.
That's exactly how they use fear and intimidation to rule their country.
Yep.
Okay. That's the same thing Esau's doing with us. Yep. He's going to use fear and intimidation to get you to take that MOTP.
Hey, Esau is the base of men. He learned from these other kingdoms, man. He came later, you know. Well, you know, he was from the beginning too, but he you know, when he came in really in the power was with the Greek Empire, man. You know, and the Roman Empire. So before that, you know, he wasn't really nobody, man. Go ahead.
It says, I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. So that was it.
What's that scripture? It says, let judgment run down as waters. We can get that one, and then get the Most High loves judgment. You know, he's gonna love Esau being in slavery. We're gonna love Esau being in slavery. That's judgment. That's recompense. That's, you know, him Most High saying he loves us. If Esau ain't going into slavery, that means Most High don't love us, man. You know what I'm saying? Because where's the recompense? That's all we've been asking for, to take our enemies down. Lord, please take our enemies down, because they ruling over us with a strong hand, and they disregard our fathers. They disregard our children, you know, like they are now, man. ICE don't give a damn about nobody. No Jakes, no Northern Kingdom, no so-called Latino Native Americans. Whether you old or young. Go ahead.
This is Amos chapter 5, verse 24. It says, "But let judgment run down as waters."
Yeah, go before that. One before that, see what it says.
It says, take thou away from me the noise of thy song.
Oh, okay,
For
that's what he was. Yeah.
For I will not hear the melody of thy vows.
Yeah, because Jake tried to have a good time. He tried to, you know, get on Most High's easy side. You know, try to, everything's a celebration, a party, and feel good. But Most High said, what did he say? Let judgment, go ahead.
He said, but let judgment run down as water.
Yeah, but let judgment run down as water, man. Like, that's why we hoping for these missiles, man. It's gonna happen. We just hoping it comes sooner than later. And it will. I mean, Most High says short in time for the elect's sake. So we ain't hoping for another 10 years in this place, man. Another 5 years in this place. We talking about let judgment run down like the waters, man. Go ahead.
And righteousness as a mighty strength.
And that's how you know they go hand in hand, righteousness code. So you devils, when you talk about the Israelites are evil or they hate, well, what about that judgment that comes from righteousness? You know, because it shouldn't. What the Most High said all through the scriptures, all through the law, that you shouldn't worship no other god beside Him. You should not covet another man's property, not steal or kill. You should not. You should honor the Sabbath. You should. There's no sodomy of the sons of Israel. There's no whoreism as the daughters of Israel. That's what all our people are about right now. And you don't think the Most High wants judgment to rain down? You think He's still like, He's a forgiving God. He'll let us do anything we want to. You know.
Mm-hmm. And just like Shaquan was saying, like everything has to start with counsel before war started. So this is the saints making counsel with each other across the four corners of the earth before we really make war with this devil. You know?
Yeah. Because we got the sword. The sword is the scriptures. And don't they say what it say?
Double-edged sword.
Yeah. You know, and it says, you know, it's another scripture that says that. We're not of carnal warfare, but we're spiritual warfare. Go ahead.
Our weapons are not carnal.
Yeah.
But it's still got to be established before it's really executed, like the destruction of the nations. Yeah. So this is Proverbs chapter 20, verse 18. Every purpose is established by counsel.
Yeah, by counsel, man. Like, you know, like we said, there was counsel in the Garden of Eden, you know. There was counsel with Yahweh Shai when they came, you know, Yahweh Shai, 2 or 3 gathered in His name. That's counsel, man. They didn't come together to party and bullish-ish, man. You know. And it says, we're gonna get that scripture next, right quick. You know, where there's no counsel, the people fall. That's why America hasn't fallen. Most High had to destroy this place by fire because they are holding counsel, man. They do hold counsel and have summits and a body and a league and elite people. So it's working for them right now. You know?
Run jump to that.
Go ahead, yeah.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 14, where no counsel is, the people fall.
Yeah, where there's no counsel. That's why the ghettos are falling. Jacob's falling because there's no counsel. He getting shot. You have how many Negroes and got shot because they couldn't work stuff out with a counsel? They like, what's the problem, bro? They just shoot off at the handle. And they don't know, they don't want to even figure out how it happened, how did it come about, who was right or who was wrong. And that they make that seem soft now. But yeah, you're gonna continue losing your children, losing yourself. Because there's no counsel. Go ahead.
But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
Yeah, a multitude of counselors, because you can put the matter into what it really is. Like, oh, that we don't do that. So you be like, correct it, and you keep moving. Because Jake, the only correction is that the cops with Jake, they can't even handle domestic disputes without having to call the cops. So what is the Most High doing? ICE is correcting their asses. Police is correcting their asses. The government corrects their asses. Go ahead. We're taking our correction from the inside with the Most High. Go ahead.
Back to
and then after that, get the word counsel.
Okay.
In the blue letter.
It's Proverbs 20, verse 18. Every purpose is established by counsel.
Every purpose, man. So you got a purpose for war. Guess what? They talking about war right now. Guess what? They having meetings about this war before it happens. You know, go ahead.
And it's the word counsel.
Strong's H 6098. Eight, sir.
Yeah, it looks like I to Zah. Yeah. And then, go ahead and definition.
And it says advice.
Advice, you know, because like it says, remember that scripture about the king He got his 10,000. Whether he's equipped to go against another king with 20,000, you're gonna have to think about that because you're gonna have the loss of people, the loss of your family, your children, whatever. If they invade, and some people just invade the land. They just come and take over the land. Imagine a whole country over here take over America. They just come in and invade houses, rape women, rob the sons and all that, and then you outside. They take it over your houses and all that, your power, and you out there in the field in the forest and shit, living like forest men, like Forrest Gump and them. Go ahead.
It says a guide, to deliberate, to counsel together, exchange counsel, to conspire,
conspire,
to determine.
Hey, conspire, nothing wrong with conspiracy, conspiring. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to
resolve.
And hey, and like we said, Putin and all them and Trump, they tune in with the apostles and elders because they want to know, they might have some advice in there for them, that they might get. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They do get something from it. They be like, man, we shouldn't make a move right now because, yeah, it hit they bones a little different that time. Like, yeah, we ain't gonna move on the hopeful elect right now on the men on the street, but we'll just kind of start exercising it through these type of, these type of things we set, these methods. And then when all chaos and the martial law, then we'll come get them like that. Those kind of means, man, they do that because they're leaders. You have to. Most High said, we're gonna get that scripture too. He said, the saints shall judge the world, man. So we're learning about judgment in this flesh. We're learning about judgment, what we see, how the nations act. You got to keep up with that. Is America going to retaliate? Israel going to get involved? Because the strategies of war. Because it exercises your mind on how to think as a judge. And most, go ahead.
Just like I was saying, every person is established by counsel, and with good advice make war.
Good advice make war, man. So you have some of those Native American movies. You can see the sadness in our people's eyes because those are our brethren. And they said, and the so-called white man came to them and like, yeah, we need you to get off this property. They said, no, these are my family and my family live here. They're going to stay here. He's like, we want you out by sundown tomorrow. And he's like, well, and if not, we're going to come invade this land and take over it. And the Native American, and they take it to the chief or whatever. It might have been the chief, or they take it to the chief, and he says, well, and you sure they're going to come? Well, yeah, they were very adamant about what they said. Well, then gather that, whatever they were using, arrows, and we're going to war. Then you got somebody say, well, nah, we'll just play their game, man, and see what they give us. Nah, we're tired of this. So it comes to a point where it is time for war. Sometimes it's a time where you could just be like, it's not time right now. Buy time, like, all right, let's negotiate, see what they say, exchange words. And they said they ain't holding back, they coming. All right, well, and it's time now. What did it say? The Most High said in the scripture. He said, basically in the scriptures, it says there's a point in time where it's just like a woman in travail. She can't hold that baby no more in her stomach. It's gonna come out. Just as sure of these prophecies is gonna happen. The weight of the water, it has to break. It has to break. So all this pressure of war talk, and back and forth, and ill dealings people have gotten fed up with this. Nations have gotten fed up with America. The citizens of America has gotten fed up with it. And they like, nah, hell with peace, man. Hell with America trying to get better. It ain't gonna get better. That's what people are going in their minds. Go ahead.
You had the next one you wanted, the saints of Jake, Keith, and Daniel. I got it. This is Daniel chapter 7, verse 17, 1 to 18 verse. Go back one.
Yeah.
These great beasts.
No, go to no, it's in. I think it's
in
in
18.
Corinthian.
It's in 18. Let's see.
No, not that one though. It says the saints of the. That's one too. I was talking about the one that says the saints shall judge the smallest matters. That's in Corinthians, I think. And if it's judged by the smallest matters, then paraphrasing.
All right. This is
Yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Yeah, the saints is going to judge the whole world, man. We're going to judge these nations. We're going to judge Esau. We're going to put Esau down. You know? Go ahead.
And if the world shall be judged by you,
not nobody else. Everybody can't be a saint, man. You know? And we say the hopeful elect. So we're hoping we have this position. We're not bragging like, well, I'm definitely a saint. Go ahead.
are you unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
Yeah, we're going to be able to judge the smallest matters. We're going to sit on thrones, Most High will. And when these nations come before us and they have a problem with it within their own, and we're going to judge that matter, even the smallest matter. Like, man, this man, well, yeah, we didn't exercise ourselves on this side. So we're equipped and ready to judge. You know, a lot of times Jake feel guilty when he see the cops automatically because he feel like he's a criminal all the time. You got to be like, I'm a righteous man. What's the problem, officer? Oh, we heard the disturbance. Well, that ain't me. You know, I just wonder why you stopped me. But if you heard the disturbance, but I don't do that. You know. You gotta have confidence and belief in yourself that that the Most High see you as a good man, man. That were you able to judge other people and look at people side eye a lot of times, man. Go ahead.
Verse 3, know ye not that we shall judge angels?
You should judge angels, man. Go ahead.
That's the 144,000 elect men.
That's powerful too. The judge is powerful, man. Where you get the word Daniel, Dan, judge. The Daniela means judge of power. Go ahead.
How much more things that pertain to this life?
To this life. So you have a situation with Jake all the time. Sometimes the same situation, the same common problem, and there's no solution to it because he's not judging the matter. He's not judging with a sound mind. Everything's chaotic. Even the smallest matters, he could die over. You know? And he could, so these nations, they like when we talk about these nations, they're on to something bigger, man. They know how to move as chess players. You know what I'm saying? They know how to move as powerful men. They don't just shoot off bombs. They be like, yeah, we're going to hold off on the bombs. We're going to kind of negotiate. We're going to look at different prospects. We're going to look at different angles, the way we can approach this. Even when they want some land, even if they want the oil in their land, they be like, we can't just attack right now. We got to talk to the leader, see what he's like. That's how you, weaken somebody.
You got to scout them. You got to see what they got. You got to see where's the weak point. Yeah. So we don't lose as much.
Yeah.
You got to do all that. Yeah. And, with us, this really isn't our war. When it comes to the physical side of it, that's why you have Jake being like, well, if you're not going to be with the government, you're not going to be with Esau, you're going to be part of the resistance, or you're going to be fighting with us. Like, nah. Because that's not how the Lord, like when Yahushua was taken to Pontius Pilate, what did he say? What did he say about his servants? It said, when you go to John 18:33, he said, then Pilate entered into the judgment hall again and called Yahushua and said unto him, art thou the king of the Jews? Yahushua answered him, saying, thou this thing of thyself, or did others tell it thee of me? Pilate answered, am I a Jew? Thine own nation and the chief priests have delivered thee unto me. What thou hast done. Basically saying like, ain't they supposed to fight for you? What Yahushua say? Verse 36, Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight?
Yeah. That's why we're not fighting to get this place back. Because this place wasn't the so-called white man. This was our people. You know, Solomon had a navy and had been over here, man. So, but the Most High don't want America.
So he said you're not fighting for it.
Yeah. America gonna be destroyed, man. He don't want nothing of America, to save nothing of this place. Go ahead.
That I should not be delivered to the Jews, but now is my kingdom not from hence. So that was basically Yahushua saying, like, when we get rounded up, we ain't gonna be expecting nobody to fight for us, really either.
Exactly.
We might get taken up to the judges. We don't gotta fight like that. And our fight is beyond this, man.
And like we said, when we get together, it ain't like we hope we got possession of the guns, like, yeah, we're gonna, take over the so-called white women when they try to strike.
Yeah.
We believing in the Most High.
That's why even when they tried to come for him, and Peter chopped that Roman soldier's ear off, he put it back and was like, he's trying to show us, like, let my movie play out the way I wanted to play out, man. You know?
Yep. And Jake think he got other solutions, man. Like, your solutions are not working. If that was the case, y'all would have been out of this place, man. Jake's solution is to go to Africa or something.
Yeah, or
try some land.
Yeah, or try to get up in higher positions of Esau and then start trying to change shit.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
By that time, you're gonna be like Esau.
Yeah, you're gonna be
be sold out. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're not going up to the most wicked realms of this earth, and be righteous. That's why the Lord has us down here.
Yeah. So like I mentioned earlier, the king with 10,000 against the king with 20,000. Esau got an army that you can't F with right now, Jake. He got men that have died for his army, not so much as it used to be, but, that's still patriotic and still rooting for America, that want Israel gone off the earth. The average so-called white people want Negroes gone off the earth. When the Karens talk and all that, and they always coming out waving their banners, their flags, and talk about, leave back to Africa. They still saying that today, knowing we ain't from Africa. They know the truth. We're not from Africa, man. And you guys still, Jake's talking about going back to Africa, building in Africa, owning land in Africa. Africa is not your homeland, man. And you're not going there. You're not going back there.
It's going to be a building that you're not going to be able to finish. It's going to be a foundation that's not going to last, man. It's going to be screwed up.
And what do? When they saw us building stuff, they made war with us in different kind of ways. They saw the king, and like we said, that example of that petition being signed and all that. Like they'll come at you either with war with the physical weapons. They'll come psychologically, or they come with their law. But they're gonna come and they're gonna try to get Jake, man, and they're gonna get the 2/3, man. It's been a war ever since the womb. Esau and Jacob. It's been a war. Struggle means war. You can look it up in the scriptures. So when it said the two children struggled in the womb, they was at war with each other. In baby form.
And both of them, when it goes into it, both of them, only one of them really sat down and counted the cost of what it would take to finish his work. And that was Jacob. Esau didn't consider his latter end, and he didn't really consider, like, if he had enough resources to be efficient to build this system that he's doing. That's how it's felt.
Yeah.
This is Luke 14:28. You got something out?
Nah, not sure.
All right.
Go ahead.
This is Luke 14:28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first?
Yeah.
Right? That council. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's the council.
Yeah.
Like every president that's ever been that you see that what do you call it inaugurated during our inauguration that becomes a president. There's always a signature sign. You know what I'm saying? There's always a council of even with the small hats, the 48ers signed by who was that? Not Eisenhower, but I keep forgetting his name, man.
Roosevelt?
Nah,
Truman.
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 Yeah, I think
Truman.
it was Truman.
It was, but they signed the papers, man. Like it had to be a council and had to be talked about before they established it as a state.
Like, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
You know.
So we talked about all the apostle elders. We talk about documentation. Everything is documented by Esau. Everything. That's why when you go to a job, they got your signature, man. So if they ask anything of you, and then you try to sue or anything, they be like, well, you signed the papers that you agree with this work that's being done as required you to do.
Yep.
So that's what they do. And they summons and they meetings, they write stuff on paper, they sign stuff and put it in documentation. Go ahead.
Sitteth not down first.
So they sit down first and talk about it. Go ahead.
And counted the cost.
And they counted the cost. They be like, yeah, is this a good idea? Okay, what about here? Even in that movie 300, y'all remember that scene with Leonidas, right?
Yeah.
Leonidas, he was talking about how they're gonna form when they enemy come attack them, where they're gonna start to form and how they're gonna counterattack. And then they was telling, and he was like, that little creature, I forget the name. He said, "Go to the oracle, listen to the archive," or something like that. He said, "No. We will go start here. We go this way up to the, and because you at war, you gotta make the best decision you can."
Yep, and he know that he couldn't run back. That's why he said, "Well, what if he send all them arrows in there?" He said, "We'll fight in the shade. We gonna have to fight."
Yep.
And that's how it is with us spiritually. There ain't no running out of this. There ain't nowhere you can go. Jake be trying to tell me, so I'm gonna just go hide in the mountains. Well, it's you and a whole bunch of other people thinking that.
Yeah.
You're gonna get up there and realize that there was no way out of here, man. But to be still and see what the Lord's gonna do. He said, "I will deliver thee from afar."
Yeah.
So you don't really gotta do a lot of running, Jake.
Exactly.
Where you supposed to be at.
Yeah. He got the 15-minute cities, he got the inner cities, and everything power is inner cities.
Yeah,
you go out to the mountains, you're gonna freeze to death or you're gonna starve to death.
Yeah, out of that, or you gonna send his AI robot dogs out there and everybody who's running. That's why they had that one episode of Black Mirror where the dogs was chasing, they were trying to get away. Like, they ain't gonna be getting away. And the further you try to run, the more the more the Lord is gonna lead you, man.
Yeah.
Because he said, wait on him.
Yeah.
See what he's gonna do right there, because he's come get you from wherever you at.
Yeah. One more scene from 300. Then when the earth was shaking, he was like, the Immortals or something. One of those people they were fighting. That was based on us as a Spartan. We were the Spartans. We were the, they painted as Greece fighting the Syrian Empire.
They're like the Edomites fighting the Persians.
The Persians, yeah. But it was us. It was Jake. So, but he said, and then he waited because the earth shook and the earth ground. He said, "Oh, those are the mortals," because they was getting in war back to back. He's like, looked at him. He said, "Battle formations." And no, he said the earth. No, he's slacking. He said earthquake. Until Leonidas, and he's like, Leonidas, he took the time to think. And he looked at him, he said, "No, battle formation. Like it's people, they shaking the ground, how many men they got coming to fight them." So you gotta know when you're at war and when your enemies are. That's why we call watchmen and all that. For the war far off, we see our enemies from afar, like, they coming. And they said, well, right, we're gonna get up prepared, but we've been practicing, rehearsing the war. So about time sundown tonight, we'll strike. You know what I'm saying? Because they know how long it takes for them to come up the mountain, whatever it happens. Or they might put something there for when in case the enemy come, the enemies will fall into that hole or whatever. So they prepared. They prepared for the battle. You can't win a battle if you don't prepare for it. Just like a fighter can't win a fight unless he prepared for it. Go ahead.
Whether he have sufficient to finish it.
To finish it, man. Go ahead.
Verse 29. Let's happily or happily after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, all that behold it begin to mock him. That's why they was talking about Esau. Like, is this the man? Mm-hmm. It's the guy who destroyed kingdom. Yeah. They started mocking him after he lost his kingdom.
Yeah, because what it said, Most High said he disappoint him on his enterprise. Yeah. So he's gonna try to get to that completion part, but Most High ain't gonna let him complete it. And they're gonna be like, damn, what happened? Mm-hmm.
Saying, verse 30 saying, this man began to build.
Yeah, he began to build.
Right, and was not able to finish.
That's why you really can't tell nobody what you're gonna do all the damn time, man. Like, yeah, man, I'm about to hit it, man. Like, I'm gonna get gold. Like, my business gonna be piping hot, man, this summer. And they gonna be like,
if you don't finish it, yeah, they gonna be talking shit.
Yep. They gonna be like, ain't you the one that said that your business is gonna be booming? Yeah. Yeah, man.
That's why you want to say Lord Willow and everything.
Oh, and the same with these celebrities, man. Like, they'll be going strong for like 10 years. You have a good run, platinum albums, everything. And then they be like, they broke at the end, like Hammer.
Yep.
Like, damn, what happened, Hammer?
They gonna be talking shit.
Yeah. Having fun all that time. You got fans. You know, you up there with Prince, Michael Jackson, all them, Mike Tyson. You
better make sure you finish building that shit, Jake.
And then they be like, Hammer? You work at the
Garage Burger? Yeah. Garage Burger?
Yeah.
Damn, man, that's cold. Well, hey, let me get double cheese on that.
Yeah.
Talking shit too.
Yeah, man. It's nice to see you, man. Yeah.
I got a precept. This is Psalms 10 and 3. It says, for the wicked boasted of his heart's desire. Mm-hmm. So like you said, you know, they because you know they on these World Economic Forum, you know, they constantly they talk about how, you know, recently the digital ID, I guess they say ain't enough. They need to come with a better, you know, solution, you know. And they broadcast in their plan, you know, and they proud, you know, they confident in it. They confident in this plan, and that it's gonna follow through.
Yeah.
So, you know, but like you said, Yahweh Shai is gonna disrupt that whole enterprise.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gonna make them look bad because they proud. You know, they're like, yeah, they think nothing can stop them, nothing can move. It's like nothing can bring them down. You know, so when they fall, it's gonna be like, man, I thought you know, like you said, I thought you was, you know,
the man,
you know. I thought you had it all. I thought, man, Lord gonna embarrass them.
Yeah.
You know, that's really what he's gonna embarrass Esau, man. And those that follow.
That's what 50 Cent said, him in the song. Back then, you was the man, homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Art.
Yeah, it said, for the wicked boasted of his heart's desire.
Yeah. Like you said, they got it all on us.
Yeah.
You know, the upgrades and new weapons and new world age. Go ahead.
And blesses the covetous whom the Lord abhors. So yeah, you know, pretty much they I thought I seen that whatever. But like you said, Esau, your plans ain't looking.
Yeah, ain't looking too Hey, you know what? Like, but on the flip side of 50 Cent is gonna be ours. Remember the Mike Jones? He said, back then you didn't know me. Now I'm hot, you all know me. That's gonna be Jacob in the kingdom. You know, and the 7 women taking hold of one man on this side. You know, us having the elect men having a knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Yeah, y'all all up on me now. Go ahead, which is good.
Basically just going back to what y'all was saying, Saquon, like, it's we got a lot more it looks like there's a lot more of them than us. But Esau didn't really think and plan to know how he was really gonna come up against the elect, man. Because it's way more us than them.
Yeah. And he tried with the tactics. Back then in the 60s, he brought Martin Luther King out and Malcolm X out and exercised those code of personalities right in front of the world while the truth was out. So he was counterattacking. But like you said, he didn't consider the light end.
He didn't think we would be this many of us.
And still growing and still out there doing, what I'm saying, starting with the apostles, of course.
Yep.
Elders on down. So what did he say? He think they wear out, he think we get worn out, like, yeah, give it like 10 years, they'll go back into the world. So they mad as hell now and they scared at the same time.
But back to Luke 14:31. Or what king going to make war against another king?
What king? Going to war with another king. Go ahead.
Sitteth not down first.
Yeah, you gotta sit down first. Like, man, is this a call for war? Yeah, it is. They got their battle just like America when they these other countries do hidden agendas of saving uranium and saying that we agree with the disarmament of nuclear weapons, and then America gotta be like, nah, I don't trust that. So they gotta be like showing it, like you said, they display their weapons in front of these other nations. Like, a lot of them calmed down after Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Like, damn, they actually did the atom bomb thing and shit. Like, that made them slow down a little bit, man. That was the Most High allowing the so-called white man to show his arm, because the Most High is dealing with it. I mean, he got, he put the power on the so-called white man. Go ahead.
And consulted whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him.
And that's another thing. Consultation is kind of like counsel. Is, you consult and ask, and go ahead.
Able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000.
Yeah, like, now if you got some sure soldiers and all your 10,000 soldiers, like, yeah, we ready to go get their asses, man. Then you be like, shit, yeah. But if some, like half of them say, yeah, I don't know, I need more practice, or I need to sharpen my sword more, then you're gonna be like, yeah. All right, negotiations, go ahead.
Verse 32. This is part of the negotiation. They trying to talk it out.
Yeah.
Verse 32, or else while Esau not talking it out, he just attacking shit. So he finna get tore up. Verse 32, or else while the other is yet a great way off.
So he's a great way off. We watch him, he's a great way off. Just like our people, they think in a kind of another light of example of, they think the enemies are far off. They think the MOTB is far off. Like, that ain't gonna happen in this time. They think, so they not preparing it and acting like it's an emergency of war or whatever. But so what's gonna happen to them? They're gonna be overtaken. Go ahead.
He sendeth an ambassage.
Ambassage, which is basically ambassador.
And you know what? That's Yahweh Shah. Hey, he's a great way off, and he's sending his prophets. Before he show up.
And do what? And desire conditions of peace. This is how you get peace. With Yahweh Shah through the prophets.
And on the and on
we his ambassador.
An example too. I mean, going with what we was talking about, war. You see that you have 10,000, you see it's 20,000, you be like, damn, it's not time to fight right now. Okay, let's talk this out. Peace. All right. And then you be like, you gird up yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like a fighter, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's fighters wanting to fight the champion right now, but they practicing.
Like,
Like, they need more time.
I gotta get more ready.
They ain't gonna be stupid and go in there and like, I ain't
You know,
practice no boxing.
and you know how they have that respect among men where it'd be like, you know, one of the like the champion would be like, I want you to be at your best, so we can see who really is the best. You know,
Exactly.
so that's also part of that council, that kingship.
You don't want to see Mike Tyson fighting, you know, in his prime fighting Jake Paul and shit. And you know, Mike Tyson in his prime, he got older. You be like, man, there ain't gonna be no fight, man. I want somebody, you know what I'm saying? You want another Jake, you know what I'm saying? He might be a Jake though, Jake Paul. I mean, that's what, you know, some brother. But you want to see an equal strength, so you make the fight exciting. Well, Esau got, according to his technology and his weapons, all that. How Most High have us counteracting right now is with the word, right? But it's not equal strength, but it's a good fight. People like when we get Most High will, we get spiritual power. That's a good fight because it looks like Esau is gonna win.
Yeah,
you know,
miserable.
Yeah, but it looks like because they believe in this hyper weapons. All of
that first Jake that pick up one of these ships and crush it on the ground, they gonna see is definitely.
You see why they gonna fight you? I was shy, like we said, they soaked in pride, man. Like they think they actually fight an angelic power.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be jacked up.
But it's gonna be a good show, man. Cause we, like the apostle said, we're gonna have fun. Most High will, you know. We're gonna still have fun because we're gonna be laughing like Esau. You think that? Come on, man. Them guns again, they don't work no more, man. We got spiritual powers. Go ahead. And it talks about then we get the spiritual war and spiritual wickedness high places. So, you know, that's our battle. In our minds, that's our battle too, dealing with the elements because these elements will try to what do you call it? They'll try to weaken you, you know. It says what does it say in that scripture? It says you know, the man that came into the truth, paraphrasing, and returned to the beggarly elements. You know, like these elements are beggarly. That's why they need energy and things to keep them alive. The plants need watering. Anything physical needs to feed off something. Esau, he feeds off of us, man. Our culture, he feeds off our entertainment, our stupidity. Talking about our people in general. He feeds off of our advertisements and all that. You know, our talent and skills. You know, everybody's feeding off of somebody. We feeding off of this word, man. And that's what they see. They be like, damn, they're not feeding off of us. We're throwing dainties and they're not eating off of it. They tied into this power of there. We got to stop that. So they, you know, in the meanwhile, like I said, in the meanwhile, while they think it to be far off, they be like, well, we're just gonna try these type of tactics. You know, send out a new Black Panther party. You know, send put them on the news.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter.
Try to get something to where that's that Babylonian spirit to try to get you to be like, oh, we coming up with a way without going to war. We'll give you a little bit of this and this, but it still be something that ain't really worth your time.
Yeah, because they know Jake will bug out. I mean, Jake will get loose on their ass too. They know that. Like Jake don't got no weapons, but imagine if all Jakes woke up and said, "Forget this. City's gonna be overtaken like overnight, in a couple of hours." And the guns, they don't have bullets forever. They don't have eternal bullets, man. And Jake got ways to get in the Edomite's house and then overtake his house and shit. So you ain't bad as you think you are either, Esau, with your weapons and shit. But the Most High give you a little power, man. A little playtime to exercise certain strengths on this side. Go ahead.
This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against
go before that. Because it mentioned the armor. Yeah.
This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the whole armor of the Most High.
Yeah. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. The knowledge, wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. The armor, man. That lets you know we're in a war with soldiers. Go ahead.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
And wild means trickery of the devil. If you look up the word wild, it means deceitful tactics. So if they present you with a device that help you and benefit you and give you housing and credits and all that, that's trickery, man.
Mm-hmm. And that's what the elder in New York, Amwan Gabar, he was going into that. Mm-hmm. There was a picture they tried to make it seem like the Black Panthers were back, and they had some Jakes standing outside with some automatic weapons, and a woman was holding her hand up, right? But it was AI, because you know when you hold your hand up, you're supposed to see, the front of your hand. But when you look up at the top, it showed like had a glove on, but it was like the back of her fingers were showing, but her hand was like this. That was the only way you could tell that whole picture was AI. Yeah. But they had 36,000 likes on it. Probably a lot of people probably thought that was real. Yeah. Yep. So that's how Esau is, them wilds, man. Yep. He's using AI, but AI always gets it wrong. Like, it always gets it wrong somewhere. You can find it. Mm-hmm. It's almost like that game I Spy. Where can you find out this shit going on? Yeah. There's something there ain't going on.
Yeah, they had all these kids sea walking, and they were like, man, how they do that, man? They young, man. Like, it's AI, man.
Yeah, and that's how, like, that's how the Lord devices the disappoints devices of the crafty. Mm-hmm. He'll make it where one thing is off, just one little thing, and then somebody gonna catch it. Like, man, they on some bullshit. Mm-hmm. Trying to see if Jake gonna rise up. Mm-hmm. That's what they want, because they know as soon as you give them the opportunity, they is gonna shoot your ass down. Because you didn't do what the Lord said. He said, wait.
But then Trump put that out. When you see these Negroes, he didn't use the word Negro, but he said when you see them mobbing and shoplifting and all that, shoot their asses. Yep. He didn't say negotiate or try to shoot their asses, man.
Yep. Like it. So it says, but against principalities.
Against principalities, man. Like Prince comes from, that means, somewhat of authority, rulership, or royalty. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're facing. Because like we often tell you that Trump is a king, man. Even though they don't use those titles. He don't have a crown on his head, but he's playing a king role.
And they know that. That's why they had a No Kings Day, where it was millions of people out everywhere talking about Trump. Yeah. No kings. And he's acting like a king. Mm-hmm. He's just taking over lands. Yeah. He's saying we just gonna move on him. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, that's be a big part of why this place gonna fall. That overexpansion. Yeah. That overexpansion is gonna do it to him. That and them internal affairs at the same time, and then they getting attacked in certain ways from outside sources. Like just recently, since Trump was talking about taking over Greenland, they went and took the intel of a bunch of small hat, so-called Israeli sleeper cells that were in Iran. Or it was in Iran, and they gave them the list of all of them. So they went and captured all 800 of them, right? And then they was going to execute them publicly, like hang them all publicly. If Trump was going to try to attack Iran, because they already went over there shooting stuff. So they stopped. They was like, oh, we're going to stop now. So they getting attacked in a lot of different ways internally. Their secrets are being exposed. We gonna cut that off. Not sure where it is.
You want to say something with that?
Yeah, man. Pretty much. Yeah. The deep state. They have a strategy behind. They got a strategy going. It's like a war. That's the word I'm looking for. or war strategy,
Mm-hmm.
going on behind, closed doors, and, because they know something big or something or someone big, something big is gonna happen, come to this planet Earth, and they preparing for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But you see the world of people, everybody don't see it. Why? Because they got these distractions going on, on the news. What is that over there? Damn, I forgot what. It's over there in another country. They said the water supply is low or something like that. But I look on the comment boards, and the people that's over there, they're like, man, our water is fine over here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so it's it's psyop
Yeah.
going on, man. It's a lot of distractions going on.
Yeah.
They trying to keep, and I'm trying to remember the country. Anyway, there's a lot of they just trying to keep people
distracted.
Yeah. Because it's something they don't want them to see what's really going on.
Because they about to force a takeover.
Yeah.
When there ain't really nothing going on.
Yeah.
It's just like that movie, The Purge. The first Purge, when they was trying to do it, nobody was really fighting. Jake was in the street partying. They was partying and whatnot. And then one Jake had to stab somebody. They said, "Okay, no, that's bad. All right, bring in everybody." And they was like basically hiring people to kill people to make sure it worked.
Remember they did that with Afghanistan? I think it was the Kuwait and all that. We talked about. They said weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
They went over there and they like little pieces of metal and shit.
Yeah, with nothing over there.
Little ID that was burnt and shit. Like, the fuck out of here, man. Where's the real stuff?
Yeah.
But that's what they do, and make it seem like it's the worst. Like how they display Hitler. Like now he's the worst guy in the world. Nobody ever worse than Hitler could be and shit. So now when they look at them in America, they be like, these are the Christians right here. These are the good guys right here. Hitler's the bad guy. Come on. That's lies and deceit, man. I try to figure out another word for it. But go ahead.
Okay. So it says, but against principalities, against powers, against
powers. Yeah. How can we fight against their power?
Against the rules of the darkness of this world.
Against the darkness of this world, man. It's all around us, man. Go ahead.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Spiritual wickedness in high places, man. And see, that's what they disregarded, the spirit of the Most High. They disregarded the spiritual things. It said, what is the man of flesh can't comprehend the things of the spirit. So they be wowed by stuff. They be wowed by us and what we know and how they know this and how they know we do this and how they. Because before all these people were talking like that, apostles was out there talking about this decades ago. Decades and decades ago, man. So now they want to come out like this is some new information. Oh man, you know what they doing? That's that they sacrificing in Hollywood, and this is the big. They've been saying that, man.
Mm-hmm.
And these nations they starting to hate America with it. Come on, man. Stealing our motto, or So yeah, like the brothers been saying, like psyops and what do they call that other thing? CGI, that type of stuff, AI, all this madness of them replaying through technicality, through technocracy, replaying events. They might take an old event that happened 20 years ago and make it look like it's new. Because ain't nobody reading about history. Nobody knows about certain things that went on back then. They just reintroduce it. They be like, oh man, they can make a country. They can make a AI type of background and make it look like Greenland, and make it look like one of these other places. Oh, they bombed. And then you be thinking that's real and shit, man. Well, they call it green screen. They call it you know, all what they do on TV. This is a movie. We told you about that. Man. Truman Show, all that type of stuff. It's right here in front of our eyes, man. Who knows if that's real snow? What if we just cold because we believe it's real snow? I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, man, like your mind is real powerful and that's what they know. So they, like you said, they try to water us down, distract the mind, psychologically corrupt the mind, makes it seem real and it's not, play games. This is a whole court for them. We're gonna close out though in a minute. What else you got?
I had no.
Y'all get back to, we're gonna close out with some judgment scriptures, at least a couple of them. But judgment's coming in, and then war comes first, then peace. What did Most High Yahushua say? I came to send peace. Came to send a sword and not peace, man. You know?
You want me to do that one first?
Yeah.
You want to do it up? You put it on up.
Which one was it?
I think Matthew.
You said
Was it
I came out to send
10:34?
a sword.
Yeah. It's in Matthew.
10:34.
Yeah.
Maybe another one.
Yeah, I think that's the one. No, I got another one after
Done.
that.
And I know Jake got, you know, his little money and stuff, probably got a good job and probably got a brand new family or something, and he don't want war to come. He don't want to talk about war. It's negative to him. You know, but it's truth. You know, go ahead. And the draft is coming back, you know, all that good stuff. Go ahead.
I think it's another one in Luke, right? Or this one.
I think now that I come send peace.
Yeah. All right, here we go. That's another one in Luke that goes. But this
I know what you're talking about.
It
Yeah.
says 10. This is Matthew 10, Matthew chapter 10, verse 34. It says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth."
Yeah, they paint Yahushua, the Son of God, like that damn Jesus, which is blasphemous, and he's always passing out flowers, and he don't look nothing like no warrior, not a steer at all, man. But they got these people believing that everything about the Son of God is just peace and love and lilies and flowers, and it's basically the very opposite, man. Go ahead.
I came not to send peace,
He came not to send peace. Oh, he's a peaceful God. He's a merciful God.
but a sword.
But a sword, man. You know? So that's what's coming up on this place too. And through Yahweh's judgment, his father, it's a lot of people are being slain in this place. You know? And when he come back as angelic power, it's not gonna be nothing nice, man. He's not coming back to make peace with the enemy. Go ahead. He even remember those that pierced him. Why do you remember that if he ain't coming back to, you know, go ahead.
Yeah, it was it on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like you said, there's you know, this is a time of war.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you started off with, not peace.
Mm-hmm.
There's a time for peace, but this ain't the time for that.
Yeah.
It's a time for war. You know,
chaos,
drama,
mm-hmm.
you know, etc. These are the times that we in. The Lord has come to shake this. What's that? Isaiah 13. You know, he said, I will yet shake. I would rise up to shake the earth. You know, and you know that starts off. It's ultimately talking about, you know, when the missiles hit, but it's begin in Jacob's trouble. The climax of Jacob's trouble. You know, come to shake everybody. And when he show up, literally, everybody gonna literally shake. You know, but before that, prior to that, you know, this is what we got going on. No peace, man. I mean, yeah, right now we still like, what they call it, we in the cool of the day, you know. People still got, you still got to convene.
Yeah.
You still can get up in the morning, take a hot shower, watch TV.
A lot of
what I'm
some
saying?
of the
Go
resources
to work.
still work.
Right. So we still,
Yeah.
but if you paying attention, you see that things are shifting, to where it's not going to be what you call normal around here.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a lot of people saying, I be looking at the comment boards when I watch these different news, things that different events, people on the average people, man, they be like, man, I'm getting worried. This is weird. Something weird is going on. So hey, people in the world, they'll try to, like you said earlier, they'll try to neglect the thought, like, nah, everything gonna be all right, but they know deep down inside that something's finna get ready to happen, Now, that's the difference between them and us in this circle of ours is that we preparing for it.
Yeah.
And we got a deeper depth of a deeper perception.
You saying it right.
Yeah, we see things on a spiritual level, so we got a deeper look, a deeper perception, of things, of these things, so we like, that's why, like Noah, like, get it, I get everything, we
grab the wood.
hey, Lord coming, bro. It's weird. It's a sense of urgency, and it's
He already feel the water drops.
Yeah.
Of the misty water drops on his forehead. Yeah. So he, what I'm saying, he already see it and feel it. We feel this war, man. We see it, feel it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is going in 1 Peter 4th chapter,
and there's still people, normal people, passing by like, what are you guys talking about? Like, you haven't seen what's going on and seen the Israelites and on TV. I mean,
it's getting to the point where, like, when they ask that question, what are y'all talking about? What y'all doing? You finna see. Mm-hmm. That's all we're gonna have to say. You finna find out. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
Keep pushing.
Yeah. But like I was saying, and I wanted to point this out. I was listening to the elder in Las Vegas, and he was showing IUIC. They were going off on this precept. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna bring it out to make sure you understand what it's saying.
Yeah.
This is 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 16, points at 17. Yet if any man suffer as a Christian, which is a Mashiachian, an anointed one, somebody who believes in Yahweh Shai, let him not be ashamed, but let him glorify the Most High on this behalf. Mm-hmm. Verse 17, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. So when they pointed that out, they're trying to say a lot of righteous men are going to die. That's not what it's talking about. That's not what it's talking about. No. That's not what it's talking about. We know in Revelation 20 verse 4, it talks about, particular witnesses, prophets will be beheaded, but a lot of Jakes is going to make it, man. A lot of the righteous is going to make it. It said he will be saved out of it. So what's with all these men going to be done? It really going into, we're going to get checked first, because the ones that know they're Israelites, not just the ones that are believing in the correct doctrine, even the ones that are in IUIC or ISUPK, even Jakes that are just 2/3 Jakes out here. The Lord is going to come and test their faith first. Yeah. That's why I said it. That's why it says, and if it first begin at us, see, it's talking about us that know the truth, know we're Israelites, and then everybody else, they get judged, according to simultaneously while we're being judged. But our judgment is going to be harder. We're talking about this.
Go ahead. I remember that scripture you put earlier, like the ones that knew the Father's will and be with many stripes. The ones that didn't, less stripes.
Yep. So the ones that knew, you're gonna get a harsh judgment. And if you know you know the Lord's going to test you like he did Job. That's why Job represents the elect. That's going to be a very tough trial, you know? So your spirit's got to be prepared, and you want to be praying. Because like even when I was reading the other day in Acts the 4th chapter about Paul and John doing certain things, you know, Paul doing certain miracles for them to see, you know, the people prayed and then they received the Ruach HaKodesh. So that prayer is the beginning of that counsel. That's how you make counsel with the Lord. So make sure you know you're praying, you know, especially before a situation happens in Jacob's trouble. You always want to pray because that's what's going to set you in the being able to ask the Lord for peace in that situation. You know, so it's going to begin with us first because that's who he's focused on. He wants to see if we're going to pass that test. He already know everybody else going to fail. We're the only ones who's putting ourselves in a position to pass that test, man. So that's really what it's talking about. It ain't talking about just a whole bunch of righteous men that going to die. That's what they said, man. That's why you can't be listening to them. Yeah. Because they just be saying stuff, man. And they going further and further away from the doctrine that was taught by the apostles and elders in One West, man. It's going further and further, man. Yeah. But every time they mess up, we're gonna point it out. Yeah. So it said, and if it begin first at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? So that's how you know it's talking about believers first. We're gonna get tried first. So you got to be ready because we're gonna get, you know. I had one lesson I did. I said, judgment is gonna pop out like an airbag. We gonna get hit with the airbag first, but everybody else in the back seat, okay, we're front lines, so we're gonna get hit with the impact first. You know, 2/3 of them, they all the way back there, Esau in a bunker somewhere. They're not gonna get hit like us, okay, because they're not trying to receive an inheritance. So there's not gonna be no power in their death. But if we die here in our faith, there is power in that death. That's why he said, don't feel ashamed. If you do die, you know, you'll be risen back up as a priest or a princess of, you know, the Most High.
Yeah, that's why it says he that knew his master's will and then shall be knew his master's will. Many stripes. So even if you have the knowledge of being an Israelite, hey, why aren't you out there? Why aren't you doing the work? You still, you know, counted as an Israelite and still counted as, hey, even Saul was he's called anointed. I don't mean nothing, man. But, so you can be in the house of judgment even as a wicked person and shit, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Just still, yeah. So
you want to make sure.
I don't mean it's just right. The saints, man.
Yeah, you want to make sure your heart right, Jake. You want to make sure you're really sincere because you got a lot of Israelites. They know the truth, but they ain't doing the work. They ain't even coming to try to reconcile with the Most High as a whole, as a unit, with the body. They're trying to tell particular brothers how to teach. Like, oh, you should do it like this. Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to subscribe to that because I don't feel comfortable with that. Well, the Lord's seeing all that, man. Yeah. The Lord's seeing all that.
You'll get more followers if you say less cuss words. We ain't looking for followers, man. At all. You know what I'm saying? We're just doing what the Most High says. And who follows, that's, whoever follows or who don't, that's their spirit, We just, Most High, shooting the message. So don't shoot the messenger, shooting the message, man. Anyway, anybody got anything else?
That was my last one. I want to go into this.
Yeah. What about the latest on an article or something?
I mentioned a couple things going on in what happened with them 800. Them 800 Israeli spies getting potentially hung, but they stopped because that would have looked bad, And just like you said, they wanted to go to war against Denmark. They wanted to go to war, but they didn't really count the cost. Yeah. That they have intel on America and on Israel. They got intel on them, man. So You know, they didn't want to count the cost to know that. And then Trump and then Putin. You know what Putin said about them raid Greenland? He said, "I ain't gonna do nothing about it." He said, "Go ahead," because they're trying to lead him into a trap, just like Obadiah 1:7 says. He said, "Go ahead, go do it. I won't interfere at all. Go ahead," because he knows how they know how Assyria fell. They know how these other Rome fell the same way, overexpansion, because they're the same. Those are those same spirits coming back that ruled the earth every time. That's why I said we'll have war with Amalek generation to generation, man. Yeah. They gonna do it the same way. I don't know why Jake think this shit gonna work. It ain't been working. It's been falling every time, man. You know? But hey, Jake gonna find out, man. He gonna find out. You know?
Man. So hey, that it gotta be war first, man. It ain't gonna be no peace. And get that last scripture. It says there'll be no more war, and that's when we establish, man.
Yeah.
It ain't right now.
Talking about that.
They should learn war no more.
Isaiah 2. Yeah. Yeah, y'all know where it's at.
It's Isaiah chapter 2, verse Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it came to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains.
And that's what we talk about, establishing righteousness. You know, these other nations don't talk about that. They talking about war. They talking about ruling, and they don't talk about ruling in righteousness. They just talk about ruling and control the people and hipping people and all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, top of the mountains is talking about the nations. Should throw that out there.
Go ahead.
It said, it shall be exalted above the hills.
Yeah.
Suburbs.
Governments and
lesser governments.
Yep.
It says, and all nations shall flow unto it.
Yeah.
And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the Most High, and to the house of the power of Jacob.
Power of Jacob, not over other nations, man. Go ahead.
And he will teach us his ways, his ways.
Yeah.
And we will walk in his path.
Yeah.
Right. He said, for out of Zion shall go forth the law.
Because you know what they're gonna understand, that law is what established things. How can I say this? It establishes order to where it's not chaotic. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you learn the spirit of the law, when you have the law in your inward parts, to where you do become perfect. And now they're gonna be like, I want to be perfect like them, but they never will be.
And you know, this proves that them small hats is not the real Israelites, because this ain't happening. And they said that they fulfilled prophecy right when it came over there and established it, you know. But right, what it said, many people shall go and say, come ye and let us. Those many people are the nations. You don't see everybody everybody on the world flowing unto Israel.
No,
they weren't trying to learn their way.
Yeah, you got them cussing their ass out, talking about they doing a whole bunch of wickedness.
Yeah.
That can't be the Israelites.
Right.
They got what they got? Pink City and Tel Aviv over there.
Yeah.
You know what? Go ahead.
He said, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his path.
Yeah.
For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord.
So that means the law is still going to be relevant.
Yep.
They talking about the law is done away with. Nah, they're going to be learning the law from us. We're going to be the lawyers, the officers. The law is going to be within us. We're not going to have to learn no more because it's going to be in us.
Yep.
They are. Go ahead.
And the word, like you said, the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And even that starts on this side. You got people, they think the Lord will come down himself. No, he speaks through his men, you know. And in the kingdom, his decrees is gonna go forth through the top men of Israel, that government body, the 144,000. It says, and he shall judge among the nations. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, and he shall judge among the nations. Yeah, he gonna set his kingdom up here on the planet Earth. You see, and they said, and he shall rebuke many people. What? That's slavery, man. That hardcore slavery that these nations are gonna have to experience.
So what they say, we're gonna rule with a rod of iron, man.
Yep.
Breaking pieces many nations, man. We're gonna throw down on their asses, man.
Yeah, and they said,
Because but what they do in slavery, they didn't teach us no law. When they was whipping our back, they didn't. They did that slave Bible stuff, but they really wasn't constructed people under the law of the Most High. And they didn't want to learn the law. They just used it for their benefit. You gotta learn this law. You learn the laws. Go ahead.
Yeah, and he shall judge among the nations.
Yeah, because even when it says to wear our fringes, remember what happened with the dude that looked down on the Sabbath and picked up the sticks? You know, if you know about the fringes, you should know about that incident, because that's why we wear the fringes. Look up on the law, not to be like this dude. So, the law is forever before us in a manner of example to not be like what the lawbreakers are doing. So it's a structure to that. We can't keep the laws perfectly, but it's a structure to that. And it's examples of the old times of what they went through and how they were judged, to examples of how we should be or trying to get right now. I don't want the Most High to be on the Most High's bad side. I don't want to return back to go back to the same thing we used to, you know what I'm saying?
That's all we talk about, applying Yahweh Shai, because he's a schoolmaster now.
Yep. And he set the example, right? Came in the express image of the Father. He set the example. Go ahead. The sufferings, taking upon burdens of the reap what he hadn't sown. Go ahead.
And they shall beat their swords into plowshares.
Yeah, ain't gonna be no Russia rising back up. Like IUIC said, ain't gonna be no nations rising up against Israel.
So you gonna fight a moral army with some plowshares? No, your ass gonna go into slavery and get your ass to work.
Yeah. Look up plowsharing, and it's gonna mention this other tool. Go ahead.
And their spirits into pruning hooks.
Pruning hooks. That's gardening work. That's that's land work, man. That's tools to get your ass to work, man. Go ahead.
It says, nation shall not lift up sword against nation.
Yes, it is right there, man.
Neither shall they learn war anymore.
So they ain't gonna even war against each other.
You ain't gonna even know what that means anymore.
Yeah.
All you're gonna know is if you don't follow that land Sabbath, you're cutting your fucking resources off. You keep fucking around, we're gonna send the plagues on your ass. That's all you're gonna know.
Yeah, and those plagues run deep. It was already 10 and that was bad. Like, come on. Plagues of wild beasts and serpents and winds and all that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have the power. Most High will that number. We're gonna have the power to control the elements. But we're able to send a damn rain cloud on Esau, or a tornado, hurricane type of wind on Esau, and then all these nations, man. They're gonna be scared as hell. The gods are talking to us. We don't even have to go to their land to see them and shit. We just like at war, you send an ambassador, you send a spy. We're gonna be able to send our taskmasters or the elements to their ass. Like,
they're gonna be like we were in Israel. As soon as some wickedness is in there, we would stone somebody to death and be like, "Nah, Lord, we good over here." That's how they're gonna be. They're gonna be like how we were in Israel, terrified as shit.
Yep. Like, because we're gonna know what they do. We're gonna have the spiritual powers to know what they do, thinking and all that. So you better not lie to us, man.
The only way you gonna lie is if we made your ass.
Yeah. You know,
Really?
like that, like that Jim Carrey thing. Man.
You know,
Yeah.
but like, you know, it's all the will of the Heavenly Father, and in that sense, you know, the spiritual demon Satan is gonna be on them, so they gonna be fucking
the evil
up.
angels are gonna do that. Man.
They gonna be fucking up on them.
We're gonna be a righteous. The evil angels are gonna,
Yeah,
they're gonna be under us.
Yeah, they gonna be doing what we say do. Gonna be like, can I go down there and make them lie? Go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it's gonna be. But you know, it's so vast. You know, man, it's gonna be so much stuff we gonna get to do.
Yeah, and I'm glad. And I would say, I think going down, it says our children are gonna play in the streets, and they're gonna walk on the streets of gold, and would say there's not gonna be harm against Israel no more, and you know, we're not gonna be we don't have to worry about that. It's gonna be Most High say he's gonna take away all the tears of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have a beautiful time and forever. So, but right now, time of Jacob's trouble. Some of us might be beheaded. Some of us might get spiritual powers. Some of us will get spiritual powers. But all in all, if you an elect and special, and even if you Israel as a whole, you're gonna be good, man. You know. So our war is against our greatest enemy, which is basically ourselves, because Esau is a base man, but he has strength enough to where we have to encounter that, we have to face that. But really, it's the war is within us, and if we can win that war, we don't have to worry about nothing else, because Most High is going to take the enemy down. He said, "What he said? Wait for me, and I shall rise up against the enemies." That, you know, and that's what we're doing, man. We don't have no angelic powers right now, you know, so we're gonna have to, you know, do what we can right now with our works and with the word and with the brethren and all that. So hey, it's coming though. Judgment is coming, man. It's coming. You better get prepared, Israel, because there ain't that much time left. Like we said, there ain't that much time left, man. And Jay keep playing, man. Like this is like he in the world and shit. Like, yeah, I'll get with y'all, man. You know, I just gotta handle a few things, man. Nah. So, you know, with that, hopefully it was edifying again to all the few brothers, sisters on the comment board. You know, the water for tuning in. Gonna give all praises to
Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Kakadash.
Rakatay Howard, Barakatay Howard Shai, double honors to the apostles, the elders, great millstone, must I taste to the brothers, seek word for the hopeful elect, soon to be the elect, most high will to hope for his elect, shalom, blessing.
Shalom. Shalom.